If you're watching this right now, something inside you already knows this message was meant for you. Not by accident, not by chance, by quantum design. Because here's what most people will never understand. You are walking through this life without the faintest awareness of who you actually are in the energetic realm. The version of yourself you see in the mirror, that's not even close to the full picture. Your consciousness doesn't remember what it returned as. You don't see the complete architecture of your being, but the quantum field recognizes you. Your energetic signature is known. Your consciousness carries imprints from experiences you cannot consciously access. And when this truth finally lands in your awareness, it will fundamentally alter how you interpret your existence, your challenges, and the deeper reason you're here. Stay present through this entire transmission, because what I'm about to reveal isn't designed to create fear. It's designed to restore you, to ground you, and to finally answer questions your soul has been carrying in silence for longer than you realize. Before we go deeper, if this resonates with something you've been feeling, take a moment to like this video and subscribe to this channel. Share this with others who are ready to remember, and comment the number sequence 777 below as an energetic declaration that you are aligned, protected, and prepared to receive what's being revealed through this frequency right now. Your consciousness exists behind an intentional veil. And here's what you need to understand first. You're not confused because there's something fundamentally wrong with your wiring. You're experiencing this confusion because something extraordinarily powerful has been deliberately concealed from your conscious awareness. And recognizing that distinction matters far more than most people realize. There exists an energetic veil over your true quantum identity, not as punishment, not as cosmic error. A veil permitted by the intelligence of the universe itself. And until you comprehend why this concealment exists, you'll continue questioning yourself in ways that silently deplete your life force. Let me be direct with you. If you retained full memory of who you are in the quantum realm, navigating this physical dimension would become impossible. You wouldn't be able to function in ordinary reality. You'd struggle to relate to other humans operating at standard frequencies. You would either completely withdraw from engagement or attempt to control dynamics that were never meant for your manipulation. So the universe, in its profound intelligence, shields the totality of your identity until your mind, emotional body, and character develop enough maturity to hold it. If this is resonating with you, take a moment to like this video and subscribe to the channel so you stay connected to this frequency. This is where many awakening souls fundamentally misunderstand their experience. They interpret forgetting as losing something essential. But forgetting is not loss. Forgetting is energetic protection. Your consciousness didn't incarnate here empty. Your consciousness arrived here full of experiential wisdom, full of quantum authority, full of multidimensional understanding. But your human mind required shielding because the human mind is vulnerable. The ego structure is fragile. And the reality you entered does not treat truth gently. This veil is why you've always sensed something about yourself that feels absent, but not in a damaged way. It feels more like something is temporarily paused, like a memory hovering just beyond conscious reach. You sense layers within yourself that defy simple explanation. You know there's more to your being than what others perceive. And sometimes that knowing creates frustration. That frustration is completely natural. It doesn't indicate that you're spiritually behind. It indicates that your consciousness is ahead of your current level of awareness. Let me share something that might bring your nervous system some relief. The universe does not reveal identity before it establishes stability in your field. And stability isn't about external success, material accumulation, or social recognition. Stability is emotional coherence. Stability is authentic humility. Stability is alignment with truth when nobody is observing. Stability is developing the capacity to hold questions without collapsing into bitterness. Many awakening souls create their own suffering because they attempt to remember before they've built the internal structure to carry the weight of remembrance. They want clarity without doing the preparatory work. But clarity without proper grounding creates either spiritual pride, paralyzing fear, or complete energetic burnout. This is why certain areas of your life have unfolded with unusual slowness. This is why opportunities closed without logical explanation. This is why relationships dissolved without clear resolution. The universe was maintaining your human experience just grounded enough to keep you teachable. The veil also exists because this physical dimension is fundamentally hostile to pure spiritual truth. People would either corrupt what you carry or actively work to destroy it. So the universe conceals its most valuable quantum assets in plain sight. Ordinary circumstances, ordinary struggles, ordinary appearances, but extraordinary consciousness. This is why your external life might not appear remarkable, yet your internal experience feels intensely demanding. You feel everything at profound depths. You notice subtleties others completely miss. You carry emotional frequencies that don't always originate from your personal experience. And you frequently wonder why existence feels heavier for you than it appears to be for most people. It's because you're not here to simply float through surface-level living. You're here to anchor something into the collective field. Another reason for this energetic veil is mercy. Yes, mercy. If you maintained complete memory of who you were, you would simultaneously remember everyone you weren't permitted to save. You would remember losses that would devastate your heart. You would remember responsibilities that would overwhelm your entire nervous system. So the universe grants you temporary amnesia wrapped in grace. It allows your consciousness to remember in fragments, in feelings, in intuitive knowing, in quiet recognition. Not in complete images or definitive titles, because this incarnation is about developing faith, not relying on memory. This is why awakening souls often feel fundamentally disconnected from conventional labels. You don't fit cleanly into categories. You don't fully resonate with the established systems of this world. You respect structure, but you don't worship it. You value authentic truth more than comfortable lies. And that creates confusion in your daily experience. Sometimes you ask yourself questions like, why do I feel older than my chronological age? Why do I crave meaning more than attention? Why does shallow conversation completely drain me? Why do I feel responsible even when I never asked for that burden? These questions emerge from the veil, creating friction against your expanding awareness. But listen carefully to this next part. The veil does not mean you are blocked from your purpose. It means you are being guided with precision. Your consciousness knows exactly what it's doing, even when your thinking mind doubts everything. That's why you survive experiences that should have shattered you. That's why you recover faster than you logically expect. That's why you sense danger before it physically manifests. That's why you feel energetically pulled away from certain people without rational reasons. Your consciousness is not asleep. It is disciplined. The problem emerges when awakening souls interpret the veil as cosmic rejection. They think, if I were truly chosen for something significant, wouldn't the universe tell me everything? No. If you weren't chosen for something specific, you would be told absolutely nothing. Silence is not absence of guidance. Silence is advanced training. Even the most enlightened teachers throughout history lived under limitation while in physical form. They did not operate in complete power at all times. They submitted to process. They submitted to divine timing. And they trusted the intelligence guiding them completely. So when you feel like you're navigating with only partial understanding, remember this truth. The universe is not withholding from you. It is protecting what is sacred within your quantum field. The veil will dissolve gradually, not suddenly. And when it does lift, it won't feel overwhelming or dramatic. It will feel familiar, like remembering something you always knew but lacked language for. Until that moment arrives, your assignment is not to force revelation. Your assignment is to stay grounded, to stay humble, to stay faithful, to stay kind in a reality that frequently rewards cruelty. Because the ones who are truly chosen are not identified by what they consciously remember. They are identified by how they live while they don't remember. And you are doing far better than your mind currently believes. And there's something else you need to integrate into your awareness. The veil is not only energetic in nature, it is emotional. It is psychological. It is woven directly into your experiences, your childhood conditioning, your disappointments, and even your prayers that seem to go unanswered. The universe didn't just conceal your identity from the external world. It concealed it from your own ego structure. Because ego is impatient by design. Ego demands titles before character development. Ego craves power before wisdom. Ego wants immediate answers before demonstrated obedience to truth. And the universe does not entrust eternal intelligence to unstable containers. This is why your journey has included so much humbling. This is why you've experienced moments where you felt small, overlooked, or underestimated by others. Not to shame you into submission, but to soften your resistance, to teach you how to listen beyond words, to teach you energetic restraint, to teach you compassion for people who cannot understand your frequency. Many awakening souls struggle intensely with this developmental phase because it feels fundamentally unfair. You know you carry more capacity. You feel it vibrating in your cells. Yet life continues placing you in positions that seem beneath your actual potential. That is not demotion in the quantum field. That is refinement through contrast. Gold is not refined in comfortable temperatures. It is refined in fire. And fire does not announce itself as preparation. It feels like devastating loss. It feels like inexplicable delay. It feels like total confusion about your path. But the veil also serves another sacred function in your development. It creates space for you to live by faith rather than certainty. Faith builds trust in the process. Trust builds quantum alignment. And alignment is what activates divine timing in your reality. If the universe revealed everything too early in your development, you would rely on memory instead of relationship with Source. You would lean on what you were instead of who Source is. And awakening souls are not sent here to glorify themselves. They are sent to reflect Source intelligence. So when your thinking mind questions everything and your heart aches with longing, do not panic. Do not rush the process. Do not compare your journey to anyone else's timeline. Comparison is the fastest way to dishonor your unique assignment. Instead, anchor yourself in this quantum truth. What is hidden is not lost. What is delayed is not denied. What is veiled is not forgotten. Source knows exactly who you are. The quantum field knows exactly who you are. And when the timing aligns perfectly, you will know too. Until that moment, peace is your protection and patience is your power. Now we need to talk about who you were before you took physical form. Listen closely, because this is where many people either become anxious or slip into fantasy. So I want to ground you firmly in quantum reality. We are not here to create elaborate fantasies. We are here to understand truth, to facilitate healing, and to stabilize your consciousness. Before you incarnated into this physical dimension, you were not random. You are not an afterthought in the cosmic design. You were not sent here because Source ran out of better options. You were sent here because you were trusted with something specific. That alone should create a shift in your internal state. Who you were before incarnation is not about a prestigious name, a hierarchical rank, or a dramatic title that would impress your ego. The quantum realm does not function like human power structures. It functions on responsibility, obedience to universal law, and energetic alignment. So when I speak of who you were, I'm not talking about status in some cosmic hierarchy. I'm talking about function. Your consciousness was familiar with divine order, with purpose, with listening to subtle guidance, with carrying energetic weight without complaint. That is why even now you struggle deeply when things feel chaotic or meaningless. Disorder unsettles you at a profound level. Not because you're trying to control everything, but because your consciousness remembers harmonic coherence. Many awakening souls completely misunderstand this internal discomfort. They think they're too sensitive, too serious, too intense for normal life. But the truth is far simpler. You have existed with clear purpose before, and purposeless living feels foreign to your consciousness. Before you came here, your awareness was not distracted by trivial concerns. That is why you've never been fully satisfied with shallow success, empty pleasure, or surface-level relationships. You can enjoy life, yes, but you cannot live without meaning driving your choices. This is also why you've always felt a strange sense of responsibility that you never asked for. Even as a child, you noticed things earlier than others. You worried earlier. You carried emotional weight that was never actually assigned to you, and people often leaned on you even when you were young. That didn't originate solely from trauma. Trauma may have amplified it, but it did not create it. Your consciousness came into this world already familiar with sacred stewardship. Another truth you need to hear clearly is this: you did not come here to be admired by the masses. You came here to be effective in your function. And effectiveness in the quantum field rarely looks glamorous to human eyes. This is why many awakening souls are placed in ordinary environments, modest beginnings, limited resources, families that could not fully see or understand them. The universe does this deliberately because admiration feeds ego, but obscurity builds depth of character. If you had been celebrated early in life, you might have confused attention with purpose, and the universe was not willing to risk that confusion. So instead, it allowed you to feel unseen, misunderstood, sometimes even dismissed by others. Not to break you, but to teach you how to stand in your truth without external applause. That lesson matters more than you currently understand. Before you incarnated, your consciousness understood true submission. And submission is not weakness. It is alignment with higher intelligence. It is knowing when to move and when to wait, when to speak and when to remain silent. That is why your life has included long seasons of waiting. Waiting for clarity, waiting for recognition, waiting for relief from difficulty. Those seasons were not wasted time. They were familiar territory for your consciousness. This is also why you have such a strong reaction to injustice. You may not always express it externally, but internally injustice unsettles you deeply. You cannot simply move past things that violate truth. Your conscience is loud because it has been trained through experience. And let me tell you something gently. Not everyone has that. Many people can compromise their values easily. They can adjust their principles to fit convenience. They can ignore wrong if it benefits them personally. But you struggle with that even when compromise would make your life significantly easier. That is not stubbornness. That is quantum memory surfacing through your reactions. Before you came here, your consciousness was not driven by self-interest, and that is why self-centered environments drain your energy now. You can navigate them when necessary, but they exhaust you. You also carry an unusual sensitivity to source presence. You may not always articulate it in religious language, but you sense when something is energetically off. You sense when something is aligned with truth, and you sense when silence is the appropriate response. This sensitivity is not something you learned in this lifetime. It is something you brought with you from before. Now, what we're exploring today only touches the surface of quantum consciousness and frequency transmission. If you're ready to go deeper into the complete system of how your consciousness broadcasts reality into existence, how to shift from seeking to being, and the 9 master frequencies that unlock effortless creation, I've compiled everything into my book, Beyond the Frequencies, a quantum guide to consciousness mastery. It contains the full framework and step-by-step practices for moving from unconscious transmission to living as the field itself. It's linked in the pinned comment below. And yet the universe did not allow you to remember all of this clearly, because remembering without maturity would transform sensitivity into arrogance. It would transform responsibility into crushing burden. And it would transform obedience into entitled expectation. So instead, the universe let your consciousness lead quietly while your thinking mind learned slowly through experience. This is why your growth has felt more internal than external. You've changed in ways people cannot always see with their eyes. Your patience has deepened. Your discernment has sharpened. Your tolerance for nonsense has decreased, and your desire for peace has increased. Those are not signs of aging. Those are signs of quantum alignment. Before you came here, your consciousness was not impulsive. And now when you act impulsively, you feel immediate discomfort. That discomfort is not condemnation. It is course correction. Your consciousness knows when you are out of alignment with your truth. This is also why you are deeply affected by spiritual teaching that is manipulative or fear-based. Something in you automatically resists it. You don't respond well to control disguised as holiness. You crave truth that liberates consciousness, not truth that intimidates people into compliance. That discernment did not develop overnight in this lifetime. Let me be clear about something important. Being chosen for a specific function does not mean being superior to others. It means being accountable, and accountability carries weight. That is why the universe does not awaken everyone in the same way. You are trusted with restraint, with patience, with depth, with the ability to walk forward without complete explanation, and that trust is still active in your field. So when you look at your life and wonder why it feels more demanding than others, why you feel called to higher standards even when nobody is watching. Understand this. You are responding to something ancient within your consciousness. Not ancient in linear time, but ancient in accumulated wisdom. You were not sent here to escape humanity. You were sent here to live it with integrity, to anchor truth quietly into the collective field, to carry light without announcing it constantly. And even though you do not remember who you were in complete detail, your life is already reflecting it through your choices. Which means this: you are not trying to become who you were. You are remembering how to live like it. And that is exactly where you are supposed to be right now in this moment. There is also a reason you have always been drawn to solitude. Even if you enjoy people, solitude does not frighten you. In fact, too much noise unsettles your nervous system. Your consciousness restores itself in stillness because it remembers communion without distraction. You were not designed to be constantly stimulated by external input. You were designed to be centered in your own field. That is why silence speaks to you. That is why prayer, reflection, and quiet moments feel natural to your being. Even when life becomes loud, your consciousness recognizes that stillness is not emptiness. It is alignment with Source. Before you came here, you were not rushed. And now, whenever life forces you into frantic living, your nervous system resists. You feel overwhelmed, anxious, or disconnected from yourself. That reaction is not weakness. It is your consciousness signaling that you are drifting from your natural rhythm. You are also familiar with boundaries at a soul level. And in this life, you are learning to re-establish them. Not walls that block connection, but sacred limits. Limits that protect your peace, your energy, and your calling. This is why you are learning to say no without guilt. Why you are stepping back from people who drain you. Why you no longer chase approval the way you once did. These shifts are not personality changes. They are remembrances activating. And as these remembrances surface, understand this. You are not becoming distant from others. You are becoming precise in your energy. You are not withdrawing from the world. You are positioning yourself within it more intentionally. And the universe is watching every step, not with judgment, but with deep approval of your evolution. Now let's address the question that has lived quietly in your consciousness for a long time, even if you've never spoken it aloud. Why now? Why this particular generation? Why this world in its current state of chaos? Why not earlier when things seemed simpler, cleaner, less fragmented? The answer is not random, and it is not cruel. You return to physical form now because this era requires discernment more than brilliance, endurance more than enthusiasm, and depth more than display. Other times in history needed builders, warriors, or messengers who could stand in open opposition to darkness. This time needs quantum anchors, and anchors do not move loudly. They hold frequency. You are not sent into a peaceful world because peace does not reveal character. Pressure reveals character. Confusion reveals character. Moral fog reveals character. And this world is saturated with it. Truth is diluted. Meaning is blurred. Faith is marketed as product. Identity is fragmented. And many people are exhausted without understanding why. That is not accidental. And neither is your presence here right now. You returned now because you have the capacity to live with tension without becoming bitter, to see hypocrisy without becoming cynical, to witness darkness without losing your compassion. Those are not common abilities. They are cultivated over long periods of quantum preparation. This generation does not lack information. It lacks wisdom. It does not lack opinions. It lacks discernment. And the universe does not send awakening souls to compete with noise. It sends them to bring clarity. That is why your life has often felt misaligned with the pace of the world around you. You move slower internally even when life pushes you to rush. You think deeper when others skim the surface. You feel heavier because you notice more layers. This world rewards speed and surface appearances. You are designed for accuracy and substance, and accuracy takes time to develop. You are also sent now because the systems of this world are fragile. Many of the structures people trust are fundamentally unstable. Institutions, relationships, value systems, everything is shifting. In times like this, the universe does not send those who need certainty. It sends those who can function in faith. You are learning to trust Source without clear timelines, to obey without full explanations, to remain steady while others panic around you. That is not an accident. That is preparation for influence that does not rely on control. Let me say this clearly. Influence in this era does not come from position. It comes from presence, from how you show up, from how you respond under pressure, from how you treat people when you could easily withdraw. And that kind of influence cannot be rushed through force. You returned now because you can carry contradiction. You can hold truth and compassion simultaneously. You can disagree without dehumanizing. You can set boundaries without becoming cold. And in a world that swings between extremes constantly, that balance is rare. This is also why many awakening souls were born into environments that were unstable, emotionally inconsistent, or spiritually confusing. Not because the universe enjoys suffering, but because clarity is forged in contrast. You learned early what did not work, what did not heal, what did not align, and those lessons shaped your discernment. You were not sent to inherit comfort. You were sent to develop resilience. Another reason you returned now is because this era is saturated with distraction, constant noise, constant comparison, constant stimulation. Many people cannot hear Source anymore, not because Source stopped speaking, but because they stopped listening. You, however, still hear it. Not always audibly, not always clearly, but you sense its direction. You feel its correction. You notice its pauses. And when you drift too far, something inside you pulls you back. That sensitivity is essential now. You are sent now because your consciousness knows how to sit in silence, how to reflect, how to wait, how to move when prompted, not when pressured by external forces. And that posture is becoming increasingly rare. This is also why your life may feel delayed compared to others. You see people rushing ahead, achieving milestones, building lives that look impressive on the surface. And sometimes you wonder if you missed something. You didn't. The universe slows down those it intends to use deeply, because depth cannot be faked. And depth is what sustains others when things fall apart. You returned now because you are not dependent on applause. You may appreciate affirmation, but you do not require it to function. You can keep going when no one notices. You can remain faithful when results are slow. That kind of perseverance is essential in a time when many give up easily. Let me address something important here. Some awakening souls struggle with a quiet sense of grief they cannot explain, a feeling of loss without a clear cause, a nostalgia for something they cannot name. That grief does not mean you want to escape this life. It means your consciousness remembers alignment. and alignment is rare in this dimension. But instead of resenting this world, you were sent to stabilize it in your own small sphere. Through integrity, through consistency, through presence. You were not sent to fix everything. You were sent to be faithful where you are placed. Another reason you returned now is because this generation is learning painfully that self-reliance has limits. People are burning out. Relationships are collapsing. Identities are unraveling, and many are searching for something solid. You are solid, not perfect, but rooted. And rooted people become reference points in unstable times. You may not feel strong all the time. You may feel tired, disillusioned, overwhelmed by what you perceive. That does not disqualify you. It humanizes you. And humanity is essential to your assignment. The universe did not send you here as an untouchable spiritual figure. It sent you here as a bridge between truth and grace, between faith and reality, between conviction and compassion. That is why you've had to wrestle with doubts, why you've questioned source, why you felt frustration with religious systems that lacked authentic love. Those struggles refined your faith. They made it personal, honest, lived in. And that kind of faith speaks louder than perfection ever could. You returned now because you can hold responsibility without needing control. You can influence without dominating. You can lead without insisting on authority. And in a world addicted to power, that humility is revolutionary. Let me reassure you of something. You did not arrive late. You did not miss your moment. You are not behind schedule. Divine timing does not follow human calendars. Every delay in your life has been a layer of protection. Every setback has been a redirection. Every season of confusion has been an invitation to trust deeper. And here you are, still standing, still searching, still open. That alone tells me you were sent at the right time. Because this world does not need more noise. It needs people who can stay steady when the noise gets loud. And that is exactly what you are learning to do right now, in this moment, in this generation. Now we need to talk about something that requires calm understanding, not fear. So settle your nervous system and listen carefully. When I say they know who you are, I am not inviting paranoia, and I am not feeding fantasy. I am speaking about quantum recognition, which operates quietly, instinctively, and often without words. You may not fully remember who you are in the energetic realm, but recognition does not depend on your memory. It depends on your frequency. Light does not need to announce itself. It is detected by those who can sense it. This is why certain people react to you without explanation. Some feel drawn to you instantly. Others feel threatened, irritated, or uncomfortable even when you've done nothing wrong. That reaction is not about your personality. It is about what your consciousness carries. People sense depth before they understand it cognitively. And depth unsettles those who live on the surface. You've probably noticed this pattern throughout your life. You enter a space quietly, yet something shifts. Conversations change. Energy tightens or softens. Eyes linger on you. Tension appears without cause. And you find yourself wondering, what did I do? Often the answer is simple. You existed. Your consciousness carries authority even when your voice is gentle. And authority does not require dominance to be felt. It requires alignment. This is why manipulation rarely works on you for long. You may tolerate it briefly out of compassion, but something in you eventually resists. You sense when truth is being twisted. You feel when intentions are impure. and you cannot unsee it once you notice it. Those who rely on control feel exposed around people like you. Now let me clarify who they are. They are not a single organized group. They are not always conscious of what they sense in your field. Sometimes they are insecure people. Sometimes they are wounded people. Sometimes they are spiritually aware, but misaligned with truth. Sometimes they are simply people who have learned to survive by dominance rather than truth. Not every negative reaction you receive is spiritual warfare. Some of it is emotional immaturity colliding with integrity. But the pattern matters. You have likely experienced being underestimated and targeted simultaneously, dismissed publicly, resisted privately. That contradiction confuses many awakening souls. But it makes sense at the quantum level. People may not know why you unsettle them, but they know that you do. This is also why gossip has followed you without your participation. Why your name enters rooms you've never been in. Why assumptions are made about your intentions. Light exposes insecurity, even when it stays silent. And here is something important you must hear. This recognition does not mean you should isolate yourself, nor does it mean you should confront everyone who misunderstands you. Discernment is not reaction. Discernment is restraint. You are not here to defend your identity. Source does that. Another sign that they know who you are is how people test your boundaries. They push, they provoke, they see how much you will tolerate. Not because you are weak, but because they sense you are strong and want to measure it. And often you pass these tests not by overpowering others, but by choosing peace. That frustrates those who thrive on conflict. Let me say this clearly. Darkness does not fear noise. It fears clarity. It fears consistency. It fears someone who cannot be easily manipulated. You don't have to say much. You don't have to prove anything. Your stability speaks for you. This is also why you've experienced sudden distance from people you once supported. When you stop feeding dysfunction, dysfunction leaves. Not always quietly, sometimes resentfully. Do not chase what exits your life when you choose health. Another thing awakening souls struggle with is misplaced guilt. You feel responsible for how others feel around you. You wonder if you should shrink, soften, explain, or apologize for simply being yourself. Release that burden. You are not here to make everyone comfortable. You are here to be aligned. Comfort without truth leads to stagnation, and the universe did not place you here to maintain stagnation. That said, let me ground this again. This is not about superiority. This is not about special treatment. This is about responsibility. Responsibility to remain humble, to remain kind, to remain teachable. Recognition does not mean exemption from correction. If anything, it means greater accountability. You will notice that the more aligned you become, the less tolerance you have for drama. Not because you are cold, but because you value peace. And peace becomes sacred to you. People who thrive on chaos sense this quickly, and they either adjust or exit. Both outcomes are protection. Another subtle way they know who you are is how often people confide in you unexpectedly. They tell you things they didn't plan to say. They trust you with vulnerabilities they don't usually share. This is not coincidence. Your presence feels safe. Safety is a form of authority, and authority, when carried with humility, is rare. But listen carefully now. Do not let recognition inflate you. Ego is the fastest way to lose clarity. Stay grounded. Stay curious. Stay soft in heart. You are not here to intimidate the world. You are here to steady it. Let Source manage exposure. Let Source handle opposition. Your role is simple but not easy. Remain aligned. Remain observant. Remain compassionate without self-betrayal. They may know who you are, but you don't need to rush remembering. Everything is unfolding exactly as it should. There is another layer to this recognition that often goes unnoticed. It shows up in how people project onto you. They assign intentions you never had. They assume strength means invulnerability. They expect you to carry more, endure more, explain more. This projection can feel heavy. And if you are not careful, you will internalize expectations that were never yours to bear. People sense your capacity, but they do not always respect your limits. So they lean, they take, they rely. And sometimes they resent you for not saving them from themselves. This is why learning discernment is essential for you. Not everyone who is drawn to you is meant to stay. Attraction does not equal assignment. You are allowed to step back. You are allowed to rest. You are allowed to say, "This is not mine to carry." Another quiet sign that they know who you are is how often people test your integrity. They invite you into compromise. They normalize behavior that feels off to you. They minimize values you take seriously. And every time you choose alignment over approval, something shifts. You may not see it immediately, but at the quantum level, you are reinforcing who you are becoming. Let me reassure you of something deeply important. Recognition does not mean exposure. Just because others sense something about you does not mean they can access it. Source controls access. You are sealed, protected, covered. No one can take what was entrusted to you unless you willingly hand it over, and you are learning slowly and wisely to guard what is sacred. So when resistance appears, do not react emotionally. Pause, observe, connect with Source. Let Source reveal what is yours to address and what is yours to release. You do not need to correct every misunderstanding. You do not need to explain every silence. You do not need to fight every battle. The ones who truly see you will respect your peace, and the ones who don't were never meant to walk with you long term. Stay centered, stay humble, stay awake. Source is guiding you more precisely than you realize. Now this is where many of you finally feel seen. Because even though your thinking mind doesn't remember clearly, your consciousness does not forget. It remembers quietly, subtly, in ways that show up in your emotions, your reactions, and your patterns long before they make sense logically. One of the clearest signs is that your reactions are often deeper than the situation appears to require. You don't just feel things lightly. Joy moves you. Injustice disturbs you. Kindness touches you deeply, and cruelty lingers in your awareness longer than you want it to. This depth is not emotional weakness. It is quantum sensitivity. Your consciousness recognizes meaning where others see inconvenience. Another sign is your lifelong sense of not fully belonging. You can function anywhere, adapt to many environments, and connect with different kinds of people. Yet there is almost always a quiet sense that you are passing through rather than settling in. You make homes, but you don't cling to them. You form relationships, but you don't confuse them with your source. That sense of being in the world, but not of it, is not detachment. It is remembrance. You may have also noticed that you grow tired of things before others do. Trends, conversations, cycles of drama, shallow ambition. What excites people initially often loses its appeal for you quickly. Not because you are difficult to please, but because novelty does not sustain you. Substance does. Your consciousness remembers substance. Another sign appears in how you respond to authority. You respect true authority. You respond well to leadership that is grounded, consistent, and just. But you resist authority that relies on fear, manipulation, or ego. Something in you stiffens when control replaces wisdom. This resistance is not rebellion, it is discernment. Your consciousness knows the difference between alignment and domination. You may also notice that your intuition often precedes logic. You sense when something is about to change before evidence appears. You feel when a relationship is shifting before words are spoken. You know when to pause without being able to explain why. And more often than not, when you ignore that inner signal, you regret it. That inner signal is not imagination. It is quantum memory surfacing as awareness. I want to hear from you in the comments. What's one moment in your life when you sensed something before it happened? When your consciousness knew before your mind could explain it? Share that experience below. Another sign is the way you respond to suffering, both your own and others. You don't romanticize pain, but you don't run from it either. You try to understand it, to extract meaning, to grow through it. And while you may struggle, you rarely become cruel as a result. Suffering softens you instead of hardening you. That is not common. Your consciousness remembers compassion that predates this lifetime. You may also feel an unexplainable pull toward healing roles. Not necessarily professional roles, but relational ones. People talk to you, confide in you, seek your presence during difficult moments. Even strangers feel comfortable opening up, and while this can be draining, it also feels strangely natural. That's because your consciousness remembers how to hold space. Another sign is your complicated relationship with time. You feel urgency about purpose, yet patience with process. You want things to matter, but you don't want to rush them. You feel late and early at the same time. This paradox frustrates you, but it exists because your consciousness operates on a different rhythm than the world around you. You may also notice that you are deeply affected by truth. Not just factual truth, but emotional and spiritual truth. When someone speaks honestly, it resonates in your body. When someone lies even subtly, something inside you recoils. This sensitivity can feel exhausting, but it is also protective. Your consciousness remembers alignment, and misalignment feels loud to it. Another sign appears in your dreams, reflections, or quiet moments. Not necessarily vivid visions, but themes, repetition, symbols, feelings that linger when you wake up, a sense that something is being communicated beyond words. Your consciousness speaks when your thinking mind is quiet. You may also struggle with self-doubt in a very specific way. Not the kind that says, "I am worthless," but the kind that says, "Am I doing enough? Am I living up to something I can't fully name?" That pressure does not come from insecurity alone. It comes from awareness without full context. Your consciousness remembers responsibility even if your mind doesn't remember the specific assignment. Take a moment to share in the comments. What old pattern or belief are you consciously releasing right now? What are you choosing to let go of as your awareness expands? Your words create energetic ripples that support others on this journey. This is why you hold yourself to higher standards than others expect of you. Why mediocrity unsettles you. Not because you need perfection, but because you crave integrity. Another sign is how you handle endings. You don't cling excessively, but you grieve deeply. You let go when it's time. but you honor what was real. You don't erase history just to move forward. Your consciousness remembers continuity. It values what was even as it steps into what is. You may also notice that you are drawn to spiritual truth that emphasizes transformation over performance. You resonate with teachings that invite inner change, not just outward behavior. You value sincerity more than spectacle. That preference comes from experience, not trend. Another sign is your discomfort with being idealized. Compliments are appreciated, but being put on a pedestal makes you uneasy. You know you are human. You know you are learning. And you don't want to be mistaken for something you are not. Humility comes naturally to you, not because you think little of yourself, but because you think honestly. Your consciousness remembers service, not spotlight. You may also feel a deep longing for rest, not just physical rest, but soul rest, a desire to exhale, to be fully present, to live without constant striving. This longing is not laziness, it is memory. Your consciousness remembers peace. And finally, one of the clearest signs is this. Despite everything you've been through, you are still open, still reflective, still willing to grow. You have not shut down completely. You have not become bitter beyond repair. That resilience is not accidental. It is remembrance expressed as hope. So if you see yourself in these signs, do not rush to label yourself. Do not demand answers immediately. Simply acknowledge what is already true. Your consciousness is awake. Your mind is catching up. And Source is guiding the pace. You are not behind. You are becoming. And becoming is exactly where remembrance begins. If this message is resonating with something deep within you, if you feel this touching a truth you've always sensed but couldn't articulate, then I invite you to subscribe. Not just to this channel, but to this frequency, to this space where quantum truth meets embodied experience. Subscribe to stay connected to this ongoing conversation about consciousness, reality, and the deeper intelligence within you. Now, this part is not mystical, it is practical. And if you misunderstand it, you will either rush yourself or sabotage your own peace. Full remembrance is not a reward for curiosity. It is a responsibility given to those who are emotionally, energetically, and morally prepared. Before Source reveals more, it looks for stability in your field. Let me say that slowly. Source does not awaken power in unstable environments. And that environment is not just external, it is internal. Your thoughts, your emotions, your reactions, your habits. Many awakening souls ask for clarity when what they truly need is grounding. The first thing you must develop before remembrance is emotional regulation, not emotional suppression. Regulation. You must learn how to feel deeply without being ruled by what you feel. Your sensitivity is a gift, but unmanaged sensitivity becomes chaos. If every emotion pulls you off center, you are not ready to carry more awareness. This is why Source has allowed situations that tested your patience, your capacity for forgiveness, and your self-control. Not to frustrate you, but to strengthen your internal structure. Revelation rests on discipline, not excitement. Another thing you must develop is humility without self-erasure. Humility does not mean shrinking. It means accuracy, knowing your strengths without exaggeration, knowing your weaknesses without shame. Source does not reveal identity to those who need validation from others. It reveals it to those who are secure enough to stand alone if necessary. You must also learn obedience without constant explanation. This is difficult for intelligent, reflective people like you. You want to understand the why. But faith matures when you can move without full clarity. Some instructions only make sense after you follow them. Another requirement before remembrance is releasing resentment. And I want to be clear here. This does not mean excusing harm. It means refusing to let past wounds define your posture toward the future. Resentment anchors you to moments that are no longer active, and Source cannot move you forward while you are anchored backward. Forgiveness in this context is not about reconciliation. It is about freedom. You must also learn discernment without suspicion. There is a difference. Discernment observes calmly. Suspicion scans anxiously. Discernment trusts Source to reveal. Suspicion tries to control outcomes. Awakening souls who rush remembrance often become fearful instead of grounded, and fear distorts perception. Another preparation point is rest. Yes, rest. Many of you underestimate how important rest is at the quantum level. Exhaustion blurs judgment. Burnout opens doors to confusion. Source often delays revelation simply because you are tired. You cannot hear clearly when your nervous system is overwhelmed. This is why you are being called to simplify your life. Fewer distractions, fewer unnecessary obligations, fewer emotional entanglements that drain you. Stillness sharpens discernment. You must also learn to live without comparison. Comparison distorts identity. It makes you measure yourself against paths you were never meant to walk. And that creates either pride or discouragement. Your assignment is specific, and it unfolds in a specific rhythm. Another thing you must develop is consistency, not intensity. Consistency. Intensity flares and fades. Consistency builds trust. Source entrusts more to those who show up faithfully in ordinary moments. Those who connect when it feels dry. Those who choose integrity when no one notices. Those who remain kind when it would be easier to withdraw. Consistency reveals character. You must also let go of the need to be understood. This is a difficult one. You want people to see your heart, to understand your intentions, to recognize your sincerity. But full remembrance often requires privacy. Source reveals in secret before it ever reveals in public. And not everyone is meant to understand you in every season. Another preparation is learning how to respond instead of react. Reaction is impulsive. Response is intentional. Reaction is emotional. Response is anchored. You are being trained to pause, to breathe, to reflect. That pause is not weakness. It is authority. Authority is calm under pressure. You must also learn to hold truth without weaponizing it. Knowing more does not give you the right to correct everyone. Wisdom chooses timing. Wisdom chooses tone. Wisdom knows when silence speaks louder than words. This is why Source delays remembrance in people who crave control. Control masquerades as confidence but reveals insecurity. You are learning trust. One of the most important preparations is surrendering timelines. You want to know when. Source wants to know if you will trust without knowing when. Impatience creates energetic strain. Patience creates alignment. And alignment is what unlocks remembrance naturally, not forcefully. Let me reassure you of something important. You are not failing because you don't remember yet. You are not delayed because you are slow. You are not unworthy because you still have questions. You are in process. And process is not punishment. It is protection. Before full remembrance comes, your life will become quieter internally, even if it remains busy externally. You will feel less urgency to prove, less pressure to perform, less anxiety about being seen. Peace is the final preparation. When remembrance comes, It will not overwhelm you. It will not inflate you. It will steady you, and Source will not rush that moment. Because once you remember more, there is no going back. Consider returning to this transmission each morning this week. Let these frequencies recalibrate your field as you begin each day. And if someone in your life is struggling with their identity or purpose, share this with them. When you share quantum truth, you're not just passing along information. You're activating resonance in both your field and theirs, accelerating collective awakening and reinforcing your own embodiment of these principles. So stay grounded, stay humble, stay faithful. You are being prepared, not postponed. And the preparation itself is already shaping you into someone who can carry what is coming with grace, clarity, and restraint. Take a moment now and comment below with this phrase: I am quantum consciousness remembering itself. Not as a casual comment, but as an energetic declaration to the field, as a signal that you are consciously interrupting the loop of forgetting. Your words carry frequency, and when you declare this truth, you are aligning with it. Let me leave you with this truth and let it settle gently into your consciousness. You are not lost. You were never lost. What you call confusion was protection. What you call delay was preparation. And what you call forgetting was mercy. Source did not remove your memory to weaken you. It covered it to preserve you. Because what you carry is sacred. And sacred things are revealed in the right time, not the rushed time. You are not behind. You are not late. You have not missed your purpose. Even on the days you felt disconnected, tired, or unsure, your consciousness was still moving forward. Quietly, faithfully, exactly as intended. You do not need to force remembrance. You do not need to chase revelation. You do not need to prove anything to anyone. Source knows who you are. The quantum field knows who you are. And when the moment aligns perfectly, you will know too. Not all at once, not dramatically, but steadily, safely, and with peace. Until then, your role is simple. Stay grounded, stay humble, stay connected to Source. Let peace become your compass instead of urgency. Let trust replace pressure. Remember this: you were chosen because you could carry responsibility without pride. You were sent because you could walk by faith without complete sight. And you are protected because Source finishes what it starts. Before we close, drop one word in the comments below that captures the energy you're choosing to embody from this moment forward. One word that represents your intention as quantum consciousness. This isn't just a comment. It's your energetic signature to the field. It's how you declare who you are becoming. And if this transmission spoke to you, if you feel called to stay in this frequency, then subscribe. Not just to stay connected, but to stay coherent, to stay aligned, to stay elevated. Because the more of us who embody this truth, the more the collective field reflects that reality. We are not isolated consciousness. We are interconnected frequency, and your alignment matters more than you know. Rest now. You are exactly where you need to be. Now, understanding who you are is one thing, but recognizing that you're not the image being projected, you're the projector itself, that changes everything. Once you grasp that you're creating the reality you're observing rather than responding to an external world, your entire experience of manifestation transforms. This shifts you from waiting for reality to change to consciously broadcasting the reality you choose. Watch this next to understand how that recognition unlocks instant reality shifting.